And showtime, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the ChannelPro 5-Minute Roundup. Look at news, trends, and tips for the SMB channel in 5 minutes or thereabouts. My name is Rich Freeman. I am executive editor of the ChannelPro Network, also a co-host of this program. I am joined this and every week, including this holiday week, by my co-host, Eric Simpson, who's a business transformation and improvement consultant for MSPs and other IT providers. Eric, happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, Rich, and I'm commemorating the pumpkin pie I'll be having with the color of my shirt today. Just saying.
Can't get started on dessert too early as far as I'm concerned. So that's
I like starting with dessert myself, but hey, that's just me.
Well, you know what, Eric? This is, in fact, a shortened holiday week. We're recording a little bit earlier in the week than we normally would. But, most of the vendors out there, they're not making news because really who's paying attention this week? And so rather than do our usual format where we talk about something happening in the news and do a tip of the week, we decided let's just do a things we are thankful for episode of the show. 10 things that we are thankful for, because it's been, let's face it, a terrible year, and yet all of us do have things to be thankful for. So I'm going to dive in. I'm going to go first, Eric, if you don't mind. I am thankful for the fact that even though back in the spring, when the pandemic was first settling in and we were all really, really concerned about the impact on the industry and on ChannelPro readers, I am thankful that the managed services market in particular has proven to be pretty resilient. And I'm not saying that people haven't suffered and lost revenue, and it has not been a great year for a lot of IT providers. But for a lot of people who have really made the transition to the managed services business model, it has not been nearly as bad as a lot of us were afraid of. And for some people out there, some folks out there are busier than they've ever been.
Yeah, that's definitely something to be thankful for, Rich. And I'm going to double down. I'm going to tag in on that. And I'm thankful for the MSPs themselves and the channel pros that really went above and beyond. I mean, seriously, to help their customers, work through this. When we talk about we'll get through this together, I think it was just a very commendable effort by the MSPs and channel pros, and especially, the folks that I'm working with. I mean, it was tough for everybody, and through it all, they hung in, stuck together, and really, really went above and beyond for their customers. So I'm appreciative of that.
Because they did that, because they had the skill and the dedication and they put in the time, a lot of small and mid-sized businesses out there were able to function as a result. And so I'm going to similar kind of point for things I'm thankful for. I am thankful to the internet, which has withstood unprecedented demands this year, and had it not had the capacity and the durability to deal with all of that all at once, the economic repercussions would have been unbelievably catastrophic. So I am thankful that the internet was able to sustain and support the work from home phenomenon.
Absolutely. And, I'm also going to double down and tag in on that. I'm thankful for Netflix being available on the internet to help us kind of get through, very, very difficult times, one binge watch session at a time, Rich.
Well, this may sound a little counterintuitive, my next thing to be thankful for, but you know what? I'm thankful for all the world's hackers and ransomware writers, because the ugly truth is work from home is a security nightmare still for a lot of end users and a lot of MSPs. This is going to remain the case. I mean, at some point next year, we're probably not going to be as limited to working from home as we have been this year. But cybersecurity is going to remain a giant need, and therefore a giant opportunity for ChannelPro readers. Every business out there, regardless of what it is they do, they need to do it securely. And as long as there are hackers out there going after people, there's going to be a business to be done by channel pros and security.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, we've talked about that on other episodes as well. So my next thing to be thankful for, Rich, is, not having to set foot on a plane all year, yet still finding ways to be productive and relevant during the lockdown for, for my colleagues, for, partners, and for vendors, and for folks, in the channel. Just, just adjusting my approach to doing things a little bit differently, and having to, kind of grow new muscles, during the stay-at-home effort. As you and I both know, Rich, it's completely outside of our DNA not to be on a plane at some point multiple times a month.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and that is a good one. I am grateful for being able to make that transition without losing my mind.
Right.
So here's another one. So we talked before. I mean, the managed services market in particular has been resilient, and MSPs have done better than we were concerned. Yet there were plenty of companies at various times in the year, and especially ones that are maybe more dependent on project revenue and hardware revenue, that have had some cash flow issues. I am thankful that the distributors out there and the vendors out there stepped in with financing assistance. Much bigger companies, big balance sheets that they could draw on, and they stepped in, they got the job done, and enabled some companies that were a little short on cash to continue to transact business. This was a good thing.
And very, very rapidly. I mean, it was almost like they were prepared with these strategies. So yeah, double down, high five on that one for sure. So here's one that I think we can all gather around. Thankful for virtual platforms like Zoom and Microsoft Teams that, have made it more normal than not to continue to maintain these connections with clients, vendors, suppliers, friends, family. I mean, those platforms really, really stepped up with rapidly adding new features and functionality, and maintaining a very, I must say, a high level of availability throughout this whole thing. I mean, if a platform is going to be taxed throughout this this pandemic, it's going to be these virtual platforms. So super thankful for them.
Couldn't agree more. ChannelPro handed out its annual All-Star Awards at the beginning of the month, and we handed 2 of those to Zoom and to Microsoft for their video conferencing platforms, and the ability of those platforms to keep everybody communicating. I was mentioning the internet before, but how impossible would it have been to do business this year without Zoom and Teams? And the spike in usage, the scalability of those platforms has been remarkable. About a year ago at this time, Microsoft was touting the fact that they were up to 20 million active daily users of Teams. Just a few weeks ago, when they issued their most recent quarterly numbers, they said they're at 115 million. And most of that happened, in between March and now. And they kept up with it, and Zoom has kept up with this explosion in demand on their end. Very, very thankful for that. I believe this is number 9 and my last one, which would be, I am thankful to America's toilet paper manufacturers, because we were running a little bit short there earlier on in the year, but those guys stepped up to, ramped up production, got stuff out into the shelves before any of us ran out. Thank goodness for that.
Nice, Rich. Nice. Okay, so my last one is, I'm just thankful for science. And I'm going to leave it at that, Rich. I'm just thankful for science, that we have something that, we can baseline things against.
Scientists, something to be very thankful for. We're at a point in time here where vaccines are starting to show up, and they look very, very promising. And that's a minor scientific miracle, is it not? I mean, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that the quickest time to completion for a vaccine in human history up until now has been 4 years. This is less than 1 year, and we've got multiple vaccines coming. Thank you, scientists. I am thankful.
It's amazing how much good can be achieved when we all focus together and rely on science. It's amazing.
Completely agree. Great note to wrap this episode up on, folks. This is what we're thankful for. I invite you to think about the things that you were thankful for. We obviously didn't touch on friends and family and coworkers and folks like you in our audience. Many more things that we are thankful for. Thank you very much for watching us all year long here and for watching this episode. If you like the show, you want to maybe take a look at some episodes you missed in the past, you want to keep up with the new ones as they come along, what you want to do is go to the ChannelPro Network channel on YouTube and become a subscriber. If you click the little bell icon there, you will actually get notified when the new episodes show up. We don't have Thanksgiving coverage per se on the website, but every day on channelpronetwork.com, we have got articles about what's happening in the industry and great business growth advice for you and your company. You want to learn more about Erick and the work that he does with his clients, go to ericksimpson.com. That is ERICK Simpson.com. So with that, we're going to be back again next week with another episode of the 5-Minute Roundup for you. And until then, Erick and I are going to be saving up space for the big dinner coming up in a couple of nights to make sure that there's plenty of room for the turkey and the pie and all the side dishes as well. Folks, until we talk to you again, please enjoy the rest of your week. Erick and I are enjoying the rest of your week already.
Happy Thanksgiving.